What's going on, everybody? My name's Chris. Welcome to my channel. And this is the first guitar I've built right here. It's not completely done yet, but I've finished all of the woodworking. Alright, so those of you who were keeping up with me have seen this whole build up until this point from scratch. Alright, since I'm done with all of the woodworking part of this guitar, I'm itching to get started with the next guitar, which is what this video will be about. So consider this video number 1 in the series on my second guitar build. So I've already got some parts picked out. I've already made some design decisions. And I'm going to talk about that for a minute, alright, to introduce the whole thing to you. For right now, I can't do anything else but wait for the finish to dry and keep applying coats. Alright, it's had what? Keeping track of it. It's had 10 coats. I've still got a few more to go. So I don't want to just stand around and wait. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the next build. So let me show you what I'm looking at. Alright, so the first thing is I'm not going to build that same guitar shape again. Alright, that's like a classic OM Martin shape. I built it based on some plans you can buy online, and there are things about it that I just don't like, so let me show you. Okay, overall, you know, I like the shape of the guitar. I like the size of it. I like the dimension here, the dimension here. I like the dimension at the waist. I like the way all that looks. The main thing I don't like about it is this section right here and a little bit of this section. It just makes it look too boxy. What I picture in my head is kind of smoothing out this waist curve, not having it so dramatic. So what I did was I took this form and put it on a piece of MDF and I drew around it. Then I took the form off and I took a pencil and just kind of drew in some lines here based on what I had in my head, what I wanted to see. And then I cut that out and I've got this. Alright, so this is my template for kind of a modified OM shape. Right, if I take my form and place it over the template and line up the center line, you'll see right here what I did. I basically just trimmed off this corner line here and just made it more straight down to the waist, and then coming out of the waist into the lower belt, straighten it out a little bit so it's not so wavy. And I think that would, first of all, make it easier to bend that waist, and it won't be such a hard curve. Here's a shot of the guitar. You can see above the waist there how that curve just comes all the way out here. It just looks too boxy to me. And you know, that's something I never really noticed before I built the guitar. To me, I just really like the shape of it, but the more I look at it, I guess the more it becomes evident to me that the shoulders are really boxy and I just don't care for it too much. So that's why I decided to change the shape for the second guitar. When I made this, I was kind of having trouble envisioning in my head what it would look like if I drew out both sides of it. So I laid this down on a piece of scrap wood and I drew it out. And I've also got a surprise for you. This is something I'm not so sure if I'm making the right decision, but I don't know, you'll just see. It's going to be something I'm going to be really nervous about, all right? So look, it may be hard to see with the white messing up the camera, but I've decided to do a Florentine cutaway. Okay, so I drew this out and I flipped it over and drew that again. And I've just been really inspired by a lot of builders on Instagram, and I love the way the Florentine cutaway looks. And I even watched a course on how to do it by Robbie O'Brien. I paid the money for the course, watched it, and I think I'm going to try to pull it off. Alright, so I took some inspiration here from some guitars I've seen on Instagram by different builders. The way the cutoff does not come to a point, but rather kind of curves in a little bit. I've seen some people do that, so this is going to be another journey for me, but hopefully I'll be able to pull it off. After I built the template, I came to the realization that I created a huge headache for myself in the fact that I would have to build new bending forms and a new mold and everything that goes with the shape of the guitar. So I've been kind of dreading getting in and doing all that. But then I came to a realization, alright? I thought to myself, well, you know, I didn't really change that much from the original shape, so the template I made should fit inside the mold I already have. See? So obviously, you can see where I cut something away. There's a gap there, but otherwise, it fits completely in there. So all I need to do, instead of having to make another mold, since I'm not planning on using this mold again for the classic OM shape, what if I just filled in this area and then, you know, shaved it down to match my new template? That would be less work for me to do. And then for these bending molds, all I've got to do is basically just shave this section off and shave this section off, and it'll match my template. So I don't have to make brand new bending forms. I'll just use the old ones and just modify them a bit. So knowing all of this, and all I gotta do is modify what I currently have, has helped me in my mind to want to continue forward with a new guitar shape instead of making the same one over again. Here are the parts, at least to make the body. I went ahead and bought what I needed to start the guitar, do the body. What I have here is Ovankul. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but it's a little cheaper than Indian rosewood. And I thought that since I'm going to be trying to make a Florentine cutaway, if I mess up, it won't hurt as bad as if it was something more expensive. So hopefully I won't mess up, but you can see I have some Ovankul sides, back, which has some kind of neat looking flame in it, or some kind of weird figure going on there. I've got some mahogany head and heel and tail blocks. I've got some spruce brace material, and then I've got a torrefied Sitka spruce top. The reason I went with torrefied wasn't because it was torrefied, it was just because it was darker in color than regular Sitka. I wanted something a little darker. I don't know, just thinking to go with this Ovankul. I didn't want to have a really light colored top, so I thought this is a little bit darker. It's spruce. I've already worked with spruce. Maybe it won't be too much different, I don't know, but it is torrefied, so maybe it'll be more stable. I don't know too much about it, but it was like 20% off, so I ended up getting it just to get it. So you can see I've got some reverse kerfing in mahogany already too, so I'm ready to go with the body. That's going to do it for today. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you subscribe so that you can watch me fumble through making a Florentine cutaway guitar. Alright, hopefully I won't fail. And if you're waiting for the next video in this build series, don't worry, it's coming out. It's going to be the last video, and then I'll wrap it up. Alright? But I got to get through all the finishing, okay? It's taking a little while. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 2 of my second guitar build. Bye. And yes, I'm wearing Mickey Mouse pajama pants. So the template I made should fit inside the mold I already have. And look, it does. So, hold on. Of course, I'm having issues. See?